Dear viewers, we are sincerely thrilled to be hosting the estimable guests who are about to play for you in the space today. Whether you are watching on a portable device or a stationary one, I know you will be moved by the beguilement that is semi-free.
Gotta lose this feeling, gotta lose it twice. Not take you with her when she rolls the dice. It's not that she's unfeeling, just done with being nice. Nice, pay the price twice. Who knows, baby, someday, maybe so. You'll be rich and she'll be sorry, so. This is out of Edgar Allan Poe. And so, she gotta go. Taking nothing with her, better lost than found. Take her chances in a bigger town. The last shall be first, you know the world is round. Round, round, a mess around. Gotta lose this feeling, gotta lose it twice. Not take you with her when she rolls the dice. It's not that she's unfeeling, just done with being nice. Nice, pay the price twice. Who knows, baby, someday, maybe so. You'll be rich and she'll be sorry, so. This is out of Edgar Allan Poe. So.
That first song was called Twice, a song so beautiful that I might have been rendered speechless if I wasn't contractually obliged to speak. And now, Charlie, Janine, and Brandon are going to play another new song for us. This one is entitled Drive.
Jesus walked on the water. Didn't have to drive 900 miles to the apple tree, trying to make good time. Through a steel driving rain, just to wake with him again, then to walk by his side. If I should survive the ride, so if I should lose my mind and drift across the dotted line, just remember how I came, and don't forget, come Christmas Day. So if I should lose my mind and drift across the dotted line, just remember how I came, and don't forget, come Christmas Day, there is a balm in that makes the wounded whole. There is a balm in Gilead to heal the sick soul.
Sneakers.
I'm rolling.
She's rolling. She's rolling, and time is of the essence.
Okay, time is of the essence.
Hello. Thank you so much, all of you, for coming in and playing. It was absolutely beautiful, and it's a real honor for us to have you here. My first question is for Brandon, since he may have to jump up and leave right during the interview. Online, I read an interview with you where you were quoted as defining music as the dream of humanity. And a beautiful statement, but one that gives rise to questions, like, what did you mean?
What did I mean by that? Well, in my observation about music and human beings interacting with it, it's a strange and wonderful thing. It's completely ephemeral. It is completely unique to human beings. Some say that there's whale song and bird song, but from different things I've read, they don't experience it the way we do.
Right. It performs a different function.
Yeah, they emit these things, but not in the way that we perceive them. So the psychoacoustic phenomena of music that I call the dream of humanity is illusory and non-existent. I mean, it doesn't have physicality, but it touches us. It can't be seen, but we speak of it in terms of having color. All these qualities that are very much dreamlike. And these things connect directly with the heart, with the human heart.
Now, of all the things that I read about you in looking forward to today, your citing of Jimmy Durante as a vocal influence struck me as the most unexpected. And after I thought about it for a while, I said, well, not so strange. But I'd like you to tell me a little bit what you've taken from the Schnazzola.
The thing about the Schnazzola is that it's so from the heart. There's no voice there. But he digs into a lyric and he tells you the story. And honestly, if I am not telling a story, I don't know what I'm doing. That's all I want to do. When I first started to sing, I love singing and driving, which is part of what that song is about, singing and driving. And when I first started singing, I had to stop singing and driving because I would go so far into the lyric that I didn't see the road. I was like,
That's dangerous.
That was dangerous. But that's what I like to do.
Charlie, I wanted to ask you, your musical resume includes major figures that everyone would recognize the names of: Blood Ulmer, Henry Threadgill, etc. And in noting your playing today also, one of the things that I took note of was how expertly you wove yourself into the context, and obviously you're called upon to do that in working with all these other people who obviously have a strong musical vision of their own. What is your thought and or approach as to bringing out your own expression and vision when you're asked to accommodate someone else's?
Well, I'm a little bit lucky that way because there's only so many things that I could do. So I have a limited palette to choose from. The thing that Brendan and I and many other New York musicians have been doing for a long time is playing with a lot of different people. When you get right down to it, there's not that many different approaches to playing music. There's not that many.
But certainly you have your own, and you. So
I do, but like I say, that comes automatically. At this stage of the game, it's more or less like speaking. I can only speak in my voice. I couldn't imitate Janine.
So it sort of comes to you instinctively on how to fit yourself into a context.
Right.
Yeah.
There's been a few people, James Blood Ulmer you mentioned, for instance. I had to relearn certain things with James because his playing style is kind of unique. And he needed, he played without a bass, but with drums. So he needed something that was underneath of him instead of on top. And the violin is usually on top. So I had to figure out how to get underneath it. That was just a little bit different.
Yeah, that makes sense. You promised me, and I've been tossing and turning ever since, you promised me a Richard Thompson anecdote. Before you give it, I want to remind you he has an OBE, Order of the British Empire.
Oh, yeah.
So you have to, you can't be, already defamatory. Anyway.
Defaming.
Yeah.
I know.
So please share with us.
When a person has been, I've spent my whole life in music, but I was a producer and a presenter. And sometime around the millennium, I decided that I was going to, sally forth and I was going to try and make music myself. So I was backstage with Richard Thompson at something at St. Anne's, where I was the program director. And I said to him, I'm starting a band. And he winced.
Right in front of
This
you.
look, he tried to stop it, but
Right.
it was just instantaneous. And I thought, because he liked me so much. We'd done so many shows together, and he was thinking, I don't want to have a reason that I don't like her anymore. I don't want to have to say, look at you with a guitar. It's so exciting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I thought, oh, this is what I'm going to be up against, because the odds against the producer turning out to be any good as a musician
Right.
are astronomical. So
And I was wondering if your career as a producer didn't intimidate you, having already had contact with these, these masters of the art form.
it
But-
did, in the sense that I didn't know anybody in high school or even in college that was in a band. And then I got this job at Saturday Night Live, and suddenly I'm working, with the Rolling Stones and David Bowie and all these session guys, and and sometimes they'd let me play, sleigh bells on a Christmas song or something, or and I couldn't get it right. They'd be like, just two.
Are you still doing anything on the producing, presenting side?
I still work with Wilner.
You did Alan Sherman this year. And I was
Yes, we
thinking,
did.
wouldn't you like to hear Jimmy Durante singing the
Yes.
songs of Alan Sherman?
Yes, I would. I would
I'm
do
working on a time
anything.
machine, so we'll see. That could be
Oh,
a
good,
project
good,
for
good,
that. Well, I think given our time constraints on the program and the fact that you all have things to do, we'll call it there. And thank you again so much. It was
thank you.
an absolute thrill to have you guys. And maybe someday you'll come back.
Pleasure. Thank you so much.
Yes.